Season 4 started off really strong.
I mean, when they get rolling, it's basically a fish for bait.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
What we got right here? Sailfish? What is that?
Crap, there you go. There we go, baby.
Looks like it's got some weight.
Yeah, 12 o'clock. They're blowing up like crazy. It's a nice one. Oh, yeah. Real big one.
Oh, right here off the side. Okay. Oh, that's so sick.
What a dinosaur, huh?
Oh, dude, that is Nat Geo.
Dude, that can't even be a snapper.
My name is Ali Hussainy. I grew up in Southern California and now operate one of the largest sport fishing websites in the world.
Another day at the office?
My office, not yours.
I'm Rush Maltz,
I got you. What you seeing?
Florida Keys native and career fishing guide for the past 20 years.
Fish. When I come out to California, you can let me catch all the 300-pound tunas.
Our passion is our profession, and we know there's more to fishing than just the catch.
There's a good mark right there. That's what I like to see.
That's one! He's not superstitious because that's bad luck.
Woo. All right, get with him, come with him.
We explore the people, places, and species that make up the culture of fishing.
I gotta say, after doing 4 seasons of this show, I'm blown away by how well it's been received. Holy smokes, I thought that thing was gonna break the rod.
They'll get up to 400 pounds or more.
For me, I really got to see a lot of great places in season 4. I mean, I got to see Alaska, Mag Bay. We did some great fishing off San Diego this year. Right when he comes around right here, get a crank, get a crank.
48 episodes later, when I look back and I think, like, what have we done? What have we gained from local knowledge? There's just one thing that sticks out, and it's the people. Dude, this might be the best one anchor drop spot I've ever been on, Chris. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, that was so dope!
You know, one of the greatest things about doing this show is I get a chance to share my experience through the camera with our audience. And that really means a lot to me, being a fisherman and a local guide. You know, people back home who don't have the opportunity to travel a lot, well, they get to live a little bit vicariously through the show and experience the things we get to see.
Woof, that is a big one. You know, every season it kind of seems like we end up in Mexico doing one thing or the other. We'll run up into them, throw a mackerel on them. After we get this bait, what's the plan, Chris?
We're gonna head out the Thetis Bank.
This season was really cool in that we kind of went and did what that region's famous for, and that's billfish. So one of the things we do, you'll see we're trolling those Marlin lures back there right now. A lot of times they'll pop up and they won't commit.
Season 4 started off really strong. I mean, we had a great trip down to Mag Bay, caught a ton of fish.
On the bow when it came to
Chris, you gonna want me in the bow or?
the color on those packs, isn't that awesome? The purple.
There he goes. There he is, on the short.
Right here, right here.
On the short.
Look at that. That's a good one.
He looked large.
Yeah, no, that's size grande. The reason we went to Mag Bay at the time of year we did, which was, you know, right around Thanksgiving, was the marlin migration. A lot of people in fishing circles have heard of Mag Bay because there's not a better place to catch a marlin in the world when Mag Bay is firing. You literally, the amount of shots you get are just unprecedented. Oh yeah, he's right there, he's right there, he's on the bait, he's on the bait.
Got him.
Nice, bait fish, good job,
Ate
Raj.
great food and hung out with some really great people.
Looking back on that Mag Bay trip, you know, it was a real unique opportunity to show Rush something that really just a few people get to see every year. Oh, I'm tight! Look at this! I mean, if you're not running a yacht to Mag Bay or you don't have some kind of a connection with somebody who's going through all the legwork of towing a boat down 24 hours, this isn't an average spot you're gonna fish. That's what makes Mag Bay so special.
I mean, so far we've caught marlin, grouper, I mean, Oahu, we got the slam.
Why stop now?
Local knowledge is brought to you by Evinrude, fastest, cleanest, smartest. The only outboard that lets you have it all. Penn, let the battle begin. Yeti, built for the wild. Seakeeper, once you feel it, you will never boat without it. The Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are. Bubba, the ultimate lifestyle. Nomad design, crafted by experience. And by bdoutdoors.com.
You know, after having a blast down in Mag Bay, showing the guys a good time, a different side of Mexico, it was time to get home and start taking care of business. And by business, I mean getting 2 brand new boats built and customized for the way we fish.
Guess we're just gonna bring all this stuff down to the dock and we'll set it all out there and then go through it, start loading stuff on the boat. I'm having to think about rigging these boats out, what needs to be done, and kind of managing that all on a timeline. It's nice to have everything fresh on the boat, new, you know.
You'll have it screwed up by the end of the season. Everything.
It's tough enough sometimes just building one boat, you know, thinking about everything that needs to go into it. It takes days and days and days to just get everything where you want it and how you want things rigged or plumbed, let alone building 2 boats to fish in 2 different oceans. One boat, Ali was building a boat to fish over on his coast, over in San Diego and the West Coast. And I was building a boat back home to fish South Florida, to fish the East Coast, the way I like to fish. Now we're on anchor, and we are rock solid right now.
There is no coming back from this thing, man. I'm telling you. This is so nice.
It makes it feel like just an average day when it's by far not an average day.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
we call this pretty nautical.
My boat was going to be a little bit different than most of the CVs that came along, and probably that biggest difference was the Seakeeper S3 that we installed right from the get-go. Just the way you come off the boat, I feel like I was fishing on a 60-footer. Anytime you get a new boat, it presents new challenges, and I'm not talking about getting the boat outfitted or whatever. It's just really getting your program and the way you like to do things dialed in to really meld well with that boat. Here's your chariot.
Woohoo! Oh my God.
Our fishery here in California is, you know, different than a lot of places in that it is very seasonal. And when it's time to go on a mission like this in the early season with a high probability of striking out, there's always one dude I can rely on. He's always down to go fishing, got a great attitude. All right, Brad, normal program here. I'm gonna get above it.
Okay.
Let's throw a little bit of chum, and then you go ahead and soak a bait and see if we can find a yellowtail.
Okay. There you go.
Finally.
You are good.
Over the last few years, you know, we've had this epic run of bluefin here that hasn't happened in 100 years. Oh, off the bow, off the bow! Oh, look at him! Oh! Bit.
Come on.
Still there?
Yep. I feel like I get an inch, he takes, you know, 2, but.
Where's your line going now? Still back?
Yeah, just slightly back and straight up and down, basically.
It's coming up.
Yeah, he's starting to come a little bit. Color!
No. I got him mid-fillet, but he's gaffed.
Got him?
Oh, get another gaff. I got him broadside.
Okay.
He ain't going anywhere, but hurry.
I'm going. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Come on in! Yeah! When you can connect on that first bluefin tuna of the year, there's no greater reward. It's just a blast. I look forward to it every year, and it's just the kickoff of many, many more months of fun.
Ali's building a 34Z for fishing back home in San Diego. And for my needs back home, the perfect boat was gonna be the 32Z.
What you got there, bro?
I got some pretty little silver dollars here.
Nice.
Spring is a very special time of year here in the Keys. It means a lot of different things. A lot of different species are gonna start moving around. I had the day off. Tony was able to schedule a day off from the shop, and we decided we were gonna go chase some of our favorite fish, the permit. God, I looked right at that crab. There you go.
There we go, baby. Come on, set that hook.
There we go.
There we go.
Stay hooked, baby. Stay hooked.
Yeah. There he is.
We're going to
That'll do it.
What's up?
Now who's gonna land your fish? You look like you got
I got a hog.
a silver dollar there, son. One of my favorite fisheries is the permit fishery down here. It's a great fish on light tackle. It's a great fish on a little heavier tackle. Look at that.
Beautiful fish, Rush.
I got yours, baby brother.
That's the shot. God's day off.
Day off, perfect. Good job, Tony.
Thanks, bro.
I'm gonna bring you fishing more often.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Sounds great, man. You know, before the start of each season, we'll generally ask our viewers for feedback. We'll kind of talk amongst the team and come up with just a rough game plan for the next season. And I think this year, for sure, you know, we did our Mexico thing early on, but we really wanted to focus on some of those fishing opportunities right here in the United States.
That are coming up the river right now to spawn, so it's a good chance to catch a lot of really big fish right now.
You know, a huge misconception is you have to travel abroad. You have to leave the country to find some great fishing.
I hope you're ready.
Prime time right now, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right on. No,
Everything's biting.
And it's just nice to kind of look at your own country and be like, hey, I know there's great sturgeon fishing in San Francisco. You know, oh, what's going on in South Carolina? Russia's got a hook up there. Hey, I got some boys up in Alaska that just smash it. I heard you got some halibut that you need exterminated.
We're gonna try. I think so. I think so. Weather looks good.
You know, a perfect example of a trip that I've overlooked for a lot of times is right here in California, and it's only 6 hours up the road. And that's the Delta in California.
It's like when we get the gear out, we'll set up a good spread, and then when we hook up, we're not reeling in anything. You know, we're gonna have to use some skill and weave them through. And
when you go to a new fishery, you find some pros like Zach and a guy who's been doing this for years, and hey, dude, how do we get my program to interlace with your program?
they pull it in their mouth and they got like this big tongue that's kind of like a mallet, man.
For me, sturgeon fishing was totally foreign.
If it's flicking, it's in his mouth, you know. Just as soon as you see that thing flick, get to the rod and just put the wood to him. Rush, get it, get Rush, come on. What's that?
It's a good one, Rush.
Swing him around this way,
Feels
to
a
your
little
right.
heavy, he's good. To me, the fight was very similar to a shark.
Big old mud donkey.
I feel like he's gonna pop up and just show himself like Jaws did.
Do you want to put another barrel on him?
Yeah. My fish in particular, that fish took me under the anchor line, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times.
Better?
Ooh, now he knows he's hooked.
Oh, wow. That's that fish right there. Usually you'll have them come up and they don't quite realize they've been stuck right away and then phew, off like a shot. Well, it didn't get that big by being stupid.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Color.
Big.
Whoa!
That's a guppy. Who's gonna grab that one?
That's a dandy.
That is a dandy.
Nice, dude, nice.
Man, that thing whooped my butt. To lay eyes on this, it's an impressive fish. Look at that thing.
Nice work.
Holy cow.
I got it.
Smokes.
That one will go 100.
That one will go close to 200, I bet.
I mean, you got it in the boat and you can just feel the denseness. It's just this big mass of dense muscle.
Look what you caught. It's Godzilla.
We really wanted to get a good fish for film, and we ended up doing it.
Excellent.
It's not very often I have the opportunity to take my boat different places other than Key West. But there are some places that are very doable, and South Carolina was one of those places. Oh, look who decided to show up this morning. Captain Morrison.
Hey, fellas.
Obviously, we weren't trailering a 32-foot boat up to South Carolina to go red fishing. We were going up there for one thing, and that was bottom fishing.
You know, when Rush was kind of telling me about this fishery and sort of showing me some of the pictures, there was really two sides to it. First and foremost, for both me and Rush, we love to do that bottom fishing, that Key West style, grouper, snapper, whatever. But then there was also sort of a side of offshore in the form of mahis, some blackfins, and some wahoo.
So what are we gonna do here, Chris? What are we gonna start off with?
Rush has a buddy named Chris that's originally from McClellanville, South Carolina, but he's been guiding down in the Keys for a lot of years. You know, and like a lot of people do, when you get a little older, it's kind of time to go back home, spend some time with your parents in the golden years, and he showed us a fishery that we couldn't imagine.
You called it. Yeah, man. Nice one.
That is an awesome fish, man.
Oh,
Get that trigger.
My favorite part about being out there is finding fish. I just like to hunt fish. I like to find specific kinds of fish.
Yeah,
No grouper color. Oh, God. Did it again.
Beautiful scamp. Feel like the right one?
It looks like the right one. The way that rod's bending.
It was very similar to Florida in a lot of ways, except there was more, and everything was bigger.
That's got to be a pretty good one, Rush, the way he's giving you a fit like that.
I see him. It might be a big old grouper.
That would be sick.
No, it's a big old red.
That's a big red.
Big old
That's
red,
cool.
dude. Look at the size of this thing. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, I've caught red snappers in a lot of places, you know, a bunch of them in Louisiana. I've caught a few in Florida. I've seen a lot of red snapper on the internet.
A little inhaling. Oh my God.
But man, when you get a fish that probably averages in most places 5, 7, 8 pounds, and you pull up the biggest specimen that those things come in, I mean, a true conservative 30-pound snapper, red snapper, I mean, that's why you saltwater fish.
Local knowledge is brought to you by CV Boats. Lead the way. Costa. See what's out there. Mustad. The standard in saltwater. Aftco. Any fish, any water. Sea Deck. Your boat deserves Sea Deck. JL Audio. How we play. Casa Vieja Lodge. Experience 5-star angling in tropical Guatemala. The Saltwater Angler, Key West. And by Taco Marine.
There really is a last frontier.
Look at this.
That view, dude, it doesn't suck.
My goal was always, since I was a little boy, was to just come to Alaska.
Season 4 offered me a lot of great experiences. I got to see a lot of great places. But the one that stands out the most to me, the one that I will remember for my entire life, is got to be Alaska.
Good morning, guys.
There they are.
How you doing? I'm Nick.
Time no see.
Nice to meet you, Nick.
Andy.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going, man? How are you?
Welcome to the Voyager.
Trying to explain fishing in Alaska to someone who's never been there is honestly really difficult. I mean, you see the pictures online, you kind of have a feel for it. Look, it's gonna be a lot of salmon and a lot of halibut, you know, but until you really get up there and experience the fishery and catch a yellow eye, catch a monster lingcod, get to know the people up there, enjoy some of the food, the views are absolutely amazing. There's a lot more to Alaska than just salmon and halibut.
Once the tide starts to roll in, the rockfish bite kind of dies, and that's when typically we start to see some halibut showing up. So we're in Seward, Alaska. Seward, Alaska is about a 2.5-hour, 3-hour drive south of Anchorage.
It's a lingcod.
That's a cool looking fish, man. Look at that thing.
Yeah, they're a predator.
The dragon.
You know, for me, going to Alaska was really about trying to catch one of these big halibut.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Got him again!
Yeah, we got him!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
This one's got a little more weight to it.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Come on, big girl. Got a leader.
Color.
It's a nice one.
Oh, yeah.
Real big one. I mean, there is nothing back home that I'm gonna catch that really equals a halibut. I mean, there's nothing I'm gonna catch. There's nothing I'm gonna see. Roar. Roar. There is so much other bycatch you can catch.
Yellow eye. Nice. Oh, cool.
Cod.
China rockfish.
Oh, look. Awesome.
How many different variations of rockfish are there?
There's like 200.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's got a hair crab down his throat, too. Check this out. Nice work, Ollie. Someone's got to catch them all. Nice job bringing Rush all the way here from Florida and then catching all the fish. That's pretty sweet.
See how he does me?
Man, from the first minute we came here, we were treated like family.
Is he bigger than 18 pounds?
He's bigger than the charter average.
Starting to pull now?
Yeah, no, it was a good one.
So 100 plus.
It's hard to say, but yeah, I would. If I were a betting man, yeah, I'd say this
Feels
one's
like he's swinging the boat. So crazy, all the life out
Look
here.
at that, there's a big bull right there.
You know, these big lingcod, these species where I'm probably, who knows if I'll get to fish for again. I really wanted to experience that, and I had a great time doing it. It's my first one, buddy.
There you go.
You know, after 48 episodes, when I look back, there's just a lot of things that stick out in my mind, and it's honestly not the fish. It's kind of what we were after the whole time. Local knowledge is not about fish, or it's really not about fishing. It's really about all the people, the experiences, the travel, the missed flights, the bad meals, the seasickness, the food poisoning, and everything that you can expect as an adventurer, even in today's world.
Winding down season 4, heading into season 5, I really feel like we are starting to get our feet underneath us, and you know, you learn a lot of things along the way, and you get to see a lot of cool places and meet a lot of great people.
It's just nothing I've ever seen. There's nothing that compares to it back home. I mean,
really, at the end of the day, my favorite part about doing this show is getting to meet other people and kind of understand their little corner of the world.